for First Fortnight. First Fortnight are a charity and a festival. It was established in 2009 by a bunch of friends who started it off as a one-day event. There was a gig, a bunch of bands, a gig, and a talk on mental health matters. And it has since then developed into a 12-day arts festival spanning the first fortnight of January, because as you all know, that's the most depressing 2 weeks of the year. Everybody knows that. It's just doom and gloom.
First Fortnight is an arts-based charity that seeks to challenge the prejudice and discrimination associated with mental health by organising an arts festival in the first 2 weeks of every year.
Talking about mental health isn't an easy thing to do. It can be really hard to start the conversation, and I suppose through organising an arts festival, First Fortnight tries to create the environment that makes it a bit easier for people to talk.
So they set about taking over that 2 weeks from it being synonymous with doom and gloom to making it synonymous with talking about mental health and being comfortable talking about mental health and enjoying talking about mental health and going to arts events that we mightn't otherwise drag ourselves out of the house for in January. And those arts events are specifically selected because they bring something to the mental health kind of conversational sphere.
A small room, lightened by a skylight off Dorset Street, almost the only escape for prayers, rising, flying with the many melodies. The colour of the room escapes me, it doesn't matter, but I'm thinking blue or some other hue of forgetfulness.
They might get us talking about recovery, they might get us talking about suicide, they might get us talking about eating disorders, but they're also pieces of art in their own right, so they're there for enjoyment and for provoking thought. And in this case with First Fortnight, they're there for the specific aim of getting us talking about mental health.
You said you'd walk alone, no people there makes you feel better. You said you'd walk alone, no people there makes you feel better.
I was diagnosed as bipolar in 1999 when I was in America on a J1 for the summer. Bipolar disorder is a mood disorder characterized by two mood poles, mania and depression. But in between, there is the potential to have a perfectly normal, fulfilling, successful and interesting life. First Fortnight is telling everybody that it's normal to have these problems and it's normal to share them with the people, especially the people closest to you.
Creativity can be a great healing process to anyone who is depressed, and I've found it has cured me. Well, I'm not depressed anymore.
For First Fortnight to grow, it needs time and money. Founded by a bunch of volunteers with full-time jobs, they've only ever had limited time to invest in this. If we were to win this competition, the €10,000 would pay me to work 20 hours a week for the coming year, working on funding opportunities, development ideas, all sorts of different ways to making the festival grow, because I would have the time that they don't have. So please help us to make the leap to making First Fortnight a nationwide noise. Thank you.